helping a lot of people that need help. That's one of the reasons why you lost that county payment system here that I started. It's been so devastating to your county. It isn't right for the federal government to make a certain decision about federal resources that we made about timber and not compensate you for it. That county payment system was a good thing for you. It was fair, and it never should have been dropped. But, so, anybody who wants to restore the economy and reclaim the future for our kids has got to recognize two things. Number one, we got a jobs problem, because you can't get incomes up unless you have more jobs and more money circulating in the economy and tighter labor markets. Number two, we got a cost problem. The primary cost problems are energy, gasoline, and also food related to energy and utilities and all that, and healthcare. And if you have a kid in college, that's a problem too. Right? Yeah. Okay, so if you want to address all these, you want to rebuild the middle class, you have to address these things. What would Hillary do? Number one, if you look around the world, and as I already told you, I work on global warming stuff all around the world. The only rich countries in the world right now that are making a real surge ahead economically for the middle class, generating lots of jobs, the only ones are the ones that have made a serious, all-out commitment to energy independence through clean energy, homegrown energy, and energy efficiency. The only one. And it is the only strategy you can follow. Yeah. It's the only strategy you can follow that will generate jobs in every rural area, small town, suburb, and big city. And that will generate jobs for everybody from college graduates to high school dropouts who can be trained as white-collar workers. I'll just give you an example. First, we'll start with the work I do. The big number of jobs in the short run is in energy efficiency. Hillary would repeal the tax cuts given to the oil companies and nuclear companies in 2005. She would get rid of a lot of these private, no-bid security contracts that have wasted your tax money and embarrassed this government. Put that money in a strategic energy fund. And the strategic energy fund would be designed to do essentially three things. Rapidly increase the number of buildings in America, starting with schools and college campuses and hospitals and government buildings, that we are making energy efficient and putting as many people to work as we can without costing the operating budgets money. This is the work I do. Her plan would essentially give, let's say, this county could get a grant. And with that grant, you'd hire an energy expert to come in here and guarantee how much you could cut the utility bill on every building in the school system. Okay? Once they give you a guarantee, what that means is if they don't make the cut, they make up the difference. Then the school district can hire people to bring the roof so it doesn't use as much air conditioning in the summer or heat in the winter, to change the windows, change the lighting, put in automatic temperature and lighting, all that sort of stuff. And you can borrow the money on the strict condition that you spend not $1 out of the school budget, you just take the reduced utility bills and give it until you pay the loan off. After you do that, look what you've done. You've created a whole ton of jobs, right? You have reduced greenhouse gas emissions. You've given the power company back clean power. You've lowered the utility bill of the schools, which, given the problems of No Child Left Behind, I bet they need all the money they can get. And you've helped to save the planet for our kids. I mean, this is a no-win deal, no-loss deal, and this is really important. So that's the first thing. The second thing is every state can produce more of its own energy. We have enormously untapped power for solar energy, for wind energy, for geothermal energy, for biomass energy. We just need to get it started. Every time you double wind capacity, every time you double solar capacity, the price goes down 30%. And it's everywhere. There's no place that doesn't have potential. We just campaigned in Ohio, right? One of the reasons Hillary won Ohio is that Ohio has the biggest producer of solar panels in America. And the Ohio people are off the wall because they're about to open a second plant, not in China or Mexico, but in Germany, where the costs are higher. Why? because instead of subsidizing yesterday's energy, the Germans are subsidizing tomorrow's energy. So with less than a third of our population in a country where the sun doesn't shine as much, they generate more electricity from solar than we do because they've invested in tomorrow. The people of Ohio want Hillary's energy plan because they want America to invest in tomorrow's solar energy. I'll give you another example. One of the reasons she won in Texas is they generate more electricity from wind than any place on earth. But not near what they could. The Energy Department has a study which says we have enough wind blowing from West Texas to the Canadian border with North Dakota to electrify America. But we can't because there are no transmission lines where most of the wind is blowing. I'll never forget this as long as I live. So I'm standing in the back of a pickup truck in Eagle Pass, Texas. Anybody know where that is? Yeah, it's on the Rio Grande River, you know. And all these people show up. They love the wind energy in Texas. They don't have any windmills because it's a little town away. I'm on the back of a pickup truck. I'm not exaggerating. 9 o'clock at night. It's 46 degrees. The wind is blowing 56 miles an hour. And I'm trying to stand up on the back of a pickup truck in cowboy boots, bracing myself, explaining to them that they're letting all this money go to waste and this clean energy go to waste because they don't have any transmission lines. But if they vote for Hillary, she would give the state the funds necessary to run the transmission lines to where the clean energy is so we can control our future and save the planet. This is very important. I'll give you another example that would help every county in Oregon. There's a big potential for geothermal everywhere using the heat underground, but every county can do something with biomass. Biomass is a fancy way of saying for most Americans, we can close every urban landfill and every county landfill in the entire United States